Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert with the Ted Show. How are you all doing today? It is the 29th of March. Can't believe it's the end of March. Very excited to have these young ladies on. We're going to talk about the Black Business Summit and Expo. I have Tiffany Cartwright with me and Stephanie Rosario Smith. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for being patient and thank you for being on the show. How are you all today?
Doing well. Thank you for having us, Ted.
I'm excited to have you both, and I'm excited, very excited to talk about your business and talk about the Expo itself. I was blessed to have Stefan on the show, and we got kind of a sneak peek. And of course, Mike Felix is the one who posted first, and I'm like, that sounds phenomenal. I can't wait to hear more. Before we went live, though, let's talk a little bit about origin story. I told you that the audience loves to know kind of a little bit of your background. And so you're at the top of my screen, Tiffany. So I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about Tiffany Cartwright.
Absolutely. Thanks again so much for having me on. I'm super excited. My name is Stephanie Cartwright. My company is Amara Products, and we're a certified minority-owned, certified woman-owned company specializing in natural and organic skincare products. And my story actually started when my daughter Taylor was born with eczema. I dreamed of launching in a national or international skincare line. However, I was a new mom determined not to use any harsh chemicals or steroids on her skin. And I literally got in my kitchen and I just went old school. I started doing what my mother and my grandmother did. And I started mixing natural concoctions to help treat her eczema. And the great news is they actually work. And so years later, I was working as an administrative law judge when suddenly and without notice, I lost my job due to budget cuts. So I lost my job, lost my home, I lost my car, I filed for bankruptcy, just like that. Everything was completely pulled out from under me. And it was at that time that I was listening to a mentor now, who's also my brother, the founder of Global Empowerment Ministries here in Detroit. And he was talking, he said, listen, that book that you've been working on, that invention you've been dreaming of, he said, those recipes that were handed down to you from your mother, your grandmother, he said, that's a business you're sitting on. And the world needs what you have. Now, again, let's remember, I've lost everything. So I'm like, you know what? He's the bells and whistles go off and I'm thinking, you know what? He's right. Let's do this. I literally dusted off those concoctions that had previously been given away as Thursday gifts and birthday gifts when money was tight. And I went ahead. He has a free class to teach you how to incorporate your business. I set up the business and I went on to pitch it to Shark Tank. And I got a yes from Shark Tank here in Detroit and took it down to Walmart's open call where they want products that are made in America. I got a yes from Walmart. We launched in over 200 Walmart stores and we're currently in just under 300 Target stores nationwide, just under 300 Stop and Shop stores nationwide, and also 2 of the local Meijer stores here. And so it has been an awesome and amazing journey. I am thrilled to share it with others. And so, yeah, that's how we're here. And we're now, like I said, in retail stores nationwide across the country.
What a beautiful success story. And I'm going to have to get some of that eczema products from you. My grandson suffers from it. So, and he's just a little 2-year-old. What a beautiful story. I love that. I cannot wait to take a deeper dive, and I want people to take a deeper dive. Their websites, and we're going to get to Stephanie now, their websites are scrolling across the bottom. You guys, make sure you check that out. And of course, we'll talk about the Business Summit in a minute. Stephanie, welcome again. Origin story. Tell us a little bit about you and your journey, your business journey.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you again for having me as well. Like Tiffany, I'm a minority woman-owned business as well. My story's kind of taken a few different turns. The biggest one that I would say and how I started, I was a consultant and a trainer in the affordable housing industry, government sector, working with public housing and Section 8 programs. And the traveling that was involved took a toll on me as a mother, taking care of 4 kids. And so we decided to use some level of innovation and transforming kind of how we serve and how we do business. So we established, my family and I, this is actually started off as a family-owned business, established the first ever remote operations where we were managing a Section 8 program in a out of Florida for the state of New Mexico. And so we started that program, and now this has converted into nationally. We manage multiple affordable housing programs nationwide. The majority of the operations are done remotely. And so when COVID occurred, we had all the systems and everything in place so that we can continue to provide services and have our doors open to serve not just the families that were already in need, but the new families that now needed assistance and emergency assistance. So we went from being a group of like 4 or 5, we're over 400 employees right now, nationwide, operating in different states at different levels. So that's part of it.
You all are so, it's when I come into these shows, I don't do a ton of research because I want to be, my reactions are real. I am so shocked and impressed and humbled. The stories that you both told, I think it's so important for people to hear. One of the reasons we do the show is so that people can be motivated and inspired and know that it can be done. And it doesn't matter what the business is. If you have an idea, a passion, old family recipes, trying to recover from things that get thrown your way, you can do it. And I feel like that is the strongest message that the two of you have out there, that it is doable and it is achievable. We had a lot of questions before we went live because the audience loves to do a little research. And so I want to ask at least one of them, and that is to both of you. And that is for someone who has an idea, who has a dream, who has a passion, who feels like they want to do something in business, or maybe they are at the same place that you both were and needed to do something. It was time. All of the stuff was gone, so you got to go up. What would you recommend the first 1 or 2 things that they need to do to really get it rolling? And Stephanie, I'll start with you.
I would say get support. For sure. I think that was the biggest game changer for me, was surrounding myself with a support system and people who believed in me, and not just that believed in me, but also helped me create a path. I'm not the most technically advanced individual. That's not my specialty or what I do, but I surrounded myself with individuals who could bring in technology that would allow the remote operations to occur back in 2010. So definitely complementing yourself with a strong team.
I think the support thing, that's such a great point. I think people, when you have the idea, you think you don't need anyone, or you feel like no one will understand your passion, so how can they support you? But one of the things I've always found is that when you surround yourself with people who have gifts and talents that are not yours, all of it comes together. You need to have people like that. How about you, Tiffany? Tell us what you would recommend if somebody's out there saying, God, I love them, they're motivating, inspiring me, I'd love to do something like that. What should I do next?
Absolutely. I would totally agree. Making sure that you have the mentorship in place, looking for good mentors, looking for that support, and knowing that there are so many resources that are available for people who have, for inventions. A lot of the USPTO offices are localized now, so you can go. I know here they have a free class on like Tuesdays and Thursdays to tell you everything you need to know about getting a patent, getting a trademark, an invention. There's the SBA has a ton of valuable resources and information that's available. There are so many organizations that are for women-owned businesses that are there to help startup companies, minority-owned businesses. There are local offices that will help us with commerce. So getting, tapping resources that are available, just availing yourself of that, because oftentimes it's overwhelming because people don't know. Grants.gov, there's been billions of dollars worth of grants that have begun out to help people start businesses and survive with businesses during the pandemic, throughout COVID. Tap into those resources, avail yourself of that. And one of the important keys, be prepared to be resilient and not to give up. I tell people all the time, you see us in our glory, but do you know our story? And understand that everybody, when you hit that rewind button, started off somewhere. And so you want to make sure that you don't go into it thinking that it's going to be a cakewalk. It's not. I didn't land in retail stores overnight. This has been a process. It's been a journey. So be prepared to take that walk one day at a time, one step at a time, and be prepared not to quit, not to give up. Get that tenacity in place, because if you're not there mentally, you'll have 101 reasons to say no and walk away.
Now I know why Stefan gave me your two names. Jeez, you all are motivating and inspiring. Tell us about the Black Business Summit and Expo, please. Give us a little 411. What are you doing at it, and where can people find information about it? I'll start with you, Tiffany.
Yes, absolutely. So I will be there, and I'm actually going to be speaking on some of what you just heard in terms of the journey, but so I am going to be helping businesses that are there understand what the actual steps are in terms of dealing with big box retailers. So many people have awesome, amazing products, and I get asked sometimes, how did you land Target? How did you get into Walmart? How do I get into Meijer? And so we're going to be talking about that and just sharing that information so that other business owners can learn what things you want to have in place so that you can, again, launch that product successfully and talk to the retailers as well.
Love it. And how about you, Stephanie? Tell us what your role is and what's going on.
I will actually be speaking on what stops you from success, which is, bottom line is typically you, but we'll get into like how we define success and how individually you're defining success, measuring the different areas of your life that you want to be a little bit more successful on, and then finding those limiting areas where you're stopping yourself from actually becoming successful in those areas. I know that my growth was 10x, even more, the moment I started looking at how I was stopping myself from what I really wanted to a certain extent, and getting that clarity of like, what is it that I really want to begin with, and then how to get there. So
I love it. I'm excited for the Business Expo and Summit and Expo. And I will put in the comments after the show the site that we shared last week when Steph was on the show. I will make sure you all can go register, get involved, find both of these incredibly motivational ladies. I really am in awe of your stories and journeys. This is Women's History Month, and so I'm asking all of my guests, when I say the word hero, what woman comes to mind? And I'll start with you, Tiffany.
I know that oftentimes when asked that question, a lot of people have the response that it is, in fact, their mother. And I would select my mother. First of all, without her, I would not be here. Not only that, I have a mother who has adopted so many other children throughout the ministry, so that she's known as mother to everyone. And it is because I have a mother who grew up in the projects of Inkster and survived the projects to not only graduate high school, but being a single mom with two small children, put herself through school, went on to complete her education, and became one of the first Black police lieutenants with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. And so, and she's just been incredibly amazing. She's been a source of inspiration. And she not only just got the door open through herself, but when she made it through the door, she held it open for all of the young Black females that she has a stellar reputation where whenever you see some brown uniform, you mention my mother's name, they're going to sit you down for at least 20 minutes to tell you the many stories of how she has blessed and how she helped their life and helped their career. She has supported myself as well as my brother throughout every step of the way, and continues to be right by my side every step, every pop-up, every show, wherever I am. If it's a vendor event, wherever it is, they know that Mama's going to be right there by my side. So every opportunity that I get, I give her flowers and I applaud her. And I say, I thank God for giving me what I consider the world's greatest mom. So my mom, Alita Cartwright.
Love it. Y'all are going to make me cry today.
I'm like holding back my tears over here. I'm like, Tiffany, hold on.
All right, Stephanie, how about you?
I know it is cliche, it is, but I gotta go jump on Tiffany's bandwagon here, because absolutely, my mom. Part of the history with my mom, my mom started. I asked her, hey, Mom, I was 18 years old. I need to go work. And I really wanted to work in legal aid and the legal field. And I said, will you come with me to the projects? Because it really isn't safe to see if they have a position or an opportunity for me. And, you know, in my young adulthood self, I said, but you can't come in as my mom. You've got to come in like, hey, like you're going to get a job too. And so she applied for a job that I wanted. She got hired. And she goes in and she tells them 2 weeks later, she's like, this is what my daughter really wants to do. She'll do it for free. She'll volunteer her time. So she sacrificed of herself from, you know, from the younger years to the adult years. 2015, 14, my mom was diagnosed with Parkinson's. She was the CEO of the company at the time, and I took over. So it's an honor and a blessing for me to be able to continue her legacy as best as possible. So I do have to give her that honor.
Beautiful. I'm gonna have to get off here and get tissues.
I know.
Woo! All right, ladies, you all are both mean this deeply. What an inspiration and motivation. I never know what I'm going to get when I have guests on the show. You all, I want to meet you in person. I want to see what you're doing. I want you all to reach out to Tiffany, reach out to Stephanie, get involved in the Black Business Summit and Expo. You all can do it too. And they are living proof of that. And so please reach out to them. We have them tagged in our post. If you can't find them, I will get you to them. And I want you all to get your ideas out, put them in your brain and your heart and your soul that you can do them. You all are a blessing. Come back on anytime. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on the TED Show. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Ted.
All right, y'all, get involved. These are the kind of things
that you want.
You're asking me all the time about how can I do that? Well, they both gave you a couple of ideas and they'll give you more. So reach out, get involved, go to the summit. And thank you, Steph, for introducing me to these two amazing ladies. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody. God bless you both, truly.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.